Would it surprise you if we told you that being a savvy entrepreneur doesn't automatically qualify you to become a successful business owner? It all boils down to operations and the fact that pure talent alone won't carry you as far as you think. Welcome to Scaling for Success. We're all about helping businesses grow profitably, scale, and move to the next level. If you're looking for consultancy and mentorship that really makes a difference, subscribe to our channel or visit the Scaling Management Consultant Group website. Links in the description below. In today's video, we're discussing new to operations. Start here to get ahead. If you haven't caught our drift, it all boils down to operations, operations, operations. Okay, you've made the decision to start a small business, and you're well past the stage where you've committed yourself wholeheartedly to the cause. Success seems within reach. But then again, it doesn't just happen overnight either. Creativity and enthusiasm will only get you so far, and you'll either stagnate or perish. The stats for a small business failing are well and truly not in your favor. The decisions you make about the day-to-day running of your business are what will define it. There's a bit of a formula to this, and thankfully we're here to slide you over the cheat sheet. Thank us later. Number 1, the base structure. The legal eagles and bean counters may seem like they have their hands out for your money while giving you absolutely nothing back in return, but this isn't really the case at all. Establishing your business structure with and around the legal requirements of your state or country is the first step you should take on your journey into capitalism. What are we talking about? Legal liability is an absolute minefield, so don't get caught out. In general, limited liability is a situation where you're pretty much only responsible for the dollar amount you've put into a company. Unlimited liability, however, blurs the lines between business and personal responsibility, where there really is no definable separation between the two. If you're reading between the lines, then yes, bad business decisions means that the liquidator will absolutely come after your assets to try and reconcile the business debts associated with the total collapse that precedes enterprise failure. Now that that's out of the way, you have to choose a structure that's right for you, whether it be a sole proprietor, a partnership, a limited liability company, or LLC, or a full-blown corporation. Being a sole proprietor or entering into a partnership usually carries that dreaded unlimited liability tag, so we can probably ignore the first pair and concentrate on the latter. Each legal structure has its pros and cons, so it's best to seek out the advice of a professional before hanging your hat on one. In an LLC, the business itself usually isn't taxed, with all profits and losses passed on to the registered owners. There can be an unlimited number of employees, and the whole operation functions through an operating agreement established by the owner or owners. You get that limited liability protection as an owner where you're not personally liable for debts. Similar deal with a corporation, except profits and losses are passed on to shareholders and investors, who elect a board of directors which oversee and manage all the day-to-day running of the business. Number 2, the engine room. Now to get into the nitty-gritty. You've decided on which structure is right for you, so now on to the physical side of things. Are you going to rent the floor of an office building, or will a warehouse or factory serve you better? What sort of resources or raw materials do you need in order to sell your product or service? Do you need tools and machinery, or a whole bunch of desks and computers in order to get things done? Whichever way you answer, the thing you have to consider is this. How do you transform inputs like raw materials, labor, and capital investment into outputs like goods and services? It's that simple. You have to set up your space in the most efficient way to maximize profit and scalability. Look at ways to minimize overheads like salary costs, rent, and business-associated bills while still keeping the engine room humming along. Number 3, record everything. Who loves paperwork? We do hope all of you had your hands up because you'll be doing a lot of it. Or paying someone else to if you're smart. Having the systems in place for account keeping and recording of all information pertaining to your business is a true big brain move. We're not only talking about the financials either. Safety documentation, employee contracts, quality assurance records. Every time there's a step, there should be a way to either physically or digitally produce documents to show what you've done and how you've done it. we strongly suggest offloading accounting and bookkeeping to a third-party specialist consultancy firm, at least for the beginning stages of your business. From there, sure, have your own accounting department, but be warned. Make sure you're hiring capable and trustworthy people to fill those roles. If managing dollars and cents are not within your skill set, best to leave it to the people who live, breathe, and eat financial. In saying that, there are many systems on the market that offer software solutions to record everything you're legally required to as a business, covering everything from bookkeeping to final sign-offs on product manufacture and everything in between. Number 4, Groundhog Day. So you have a structure, are complying with the legal obligations of where you're based, and systems in place for your business. What next? It's time to look at daily management. Systems are only as good as the procedures you employ to make sure the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. You have to ask yourself, do I have a clearly defined way of doing things? Is it clear to all employees? And are there benchmarks set to measure accountability to set operations? Everything filters down, and it's up to you, the owners, and upper management to set the bar to 100% compliance to the way your company does things. Typically, the day-to-day operations of a company will comprise of 5 steps. There's a production process. Whatever your offer, whether it be products or services, has to be produced in a way that keeps profits high and outlays low. This has to be a constantly evolving beast. You have to constantly look at how you do things at a base level, making the slight changes and adjustments required to incrementally improve this production process. Similarly, making more product in a smaller time frame can't come at the cost of the quality the customer's expecting when they chose you to give their dollar to. Think about industry standards. Do you meet them or exceed them? Is the product or service you're offering competitive based on price alone? Or are you charging a premium because you choose to be the name in the market that goes the extra mile? Look at how the product or service is delivered to the end user. Are they dispatched in a timely fashion? Or are you having to field angry phone calls from customers asking when the heck their order's arriving? There can be many breakdowns throughout the fulfillment process. The orders may be held up by sales before they get to manufacture. You could be waiting on raw materials. Your dispatch team could be taking far too many coffee breaks. Whatever it is, it's in your best interest to ensure that there is the shortest time possible between the customer's funds clearing their accounts and them actually getting what they paid for. Off the back of that, you're only as good as your inventory. Paying for too much warehouse space will have you hemorrhaging money renting space for products just to sit on a shelf. Having too little an area will mean the products are always on back order and customer satisfaction is low. Finally, how are you collecting money? The billing and collection process should be seamless and timely. After all, the company's coffers need to be flush in order to have the raw funds to make or buy more products, or to pay the employees offering the services. Cash flow is king, so make sure payment is received before dispatch or accounts are paid within the agreed time frame. Overdue bills are money that you could otherwise be spending on growing your business. Have we scared you off yet? Well, the reality is that no matter how big or small the business, there are common threads at work here. Getting your ducks in a row will lead to a happy and productive foray into the business world, whereas cutting corners or burying your head in the sand about what's required in business will ultimately end in tears. Do it right the first time, and you'll make that seamless transition from savvy entrepreneur to successful business owner. That's all we have time for in today's video. New to operations? Start here to get ahead. Like this video if you found it helpful. And for more content just like this, subscribe to our channel or visit the Scaling Management Consultant Group website at scalinggrp.com.